Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the July Dismemberment of Civil Gore. I am your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. This is one of those it's definitely not a short month, I would say. It's got some good discs in there. It's got a good mix though, I think. It's got a couple of good collector's editions, a lot of older movies, but a couple of new ones that I've been waiting for too. So this is I think the summer months kind of do that. Like it kind of has a good balance, you know.
If I was going to give this a rating, this would be like a right down the middle. This is like a 7 or something. It's like an average. It's not super great. It's not bad. It's just kind of like, if you want just like a representation of everything the Dismemberment is, this is kind of the episode.
It is, yeah, seriously, because it's got a lot of older 80s stuff in there, and it's got it's also got some very recent stuff. So it's like, yeah, you really got it's a good way to put it. It's like right down the middle with stuff. So everyone will find something for in this Dismemberment. Figure I'd learn how to say it by now. We've only done it how many times already?
All right, well, let's get right into it.
Wait, no, please, God, no, don't call up,
Okay, here's our Blu-ray releases for the week of July 6th. And we're started off with, 6 releases this week, Brian? 7?
It looks like 5. No, 6. No, 7. You're right.
7.
My
okay.
thing did not scroll fast enough. It stopped on 6, but yes, It's 7 plus a couple of re-releases.
So, yeah, we got some Universal re-releases of Curse of Chucky and The Forest, which I actually enjoyed The Forest quite a bit. And Curse of Chucky goes without saying. I really like that one. But those are just reissues, so we're not going to go into any detail on those. So we'll start things off with our non-pick of the week, Mortuary from MVD Visual. This is from 1983. Convinced that her father's death was not accidental, a beautiful girl decides to investigate to find out the truth, aided by her boyfriend. Her sleuthing draws her to a local mortuary where many secrets will be revealed. I think I saw this during a Halloween challenge a few years back, Brian. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure I did. And I remember liking it quite a bit. So.
Yeah, and this is one of those, too. I remember, I think this was one of those old, it used to be on cable, back through the 80s at some point. I think it was, I want to say like Cinemax used to have it, but I'm not sure which cable had it. But I kind of remember seeing this. I don't remember much of it, and the trailer is one of those teaser trailers that don't show anything. So I was I'm pretty sure I've seen this, but I don't know. So it's definitely intriguing. I might have to track it down just to see if this is what I was thinking it was.
Yeah, it has a few extras on here. An interview with composer John Kakavas. Original theatrical trailer, collectible mini poster, and limited edition retro slipcover for the first pressing only.
Next one is our pick of the weeks, so we'll skip that one. We'll go to release 3, which is from Cauldron Films. I think we need a Cauldron Film sound effect, like some bubbling sound,
That's a cool name for a Blu-ray producer, right?
Yeah. No, definitely.
They have some really good trailers too on YouTube. If you go look at their releases, they put together these really cool trailers for their films.
Yeah, no, and that's a good cool slogan, from the bottom of the cauldron sale or something.
Yeah.
They could really do stuff like that. But anyway, and what comes out of there is it's a movie for my birth year that
Nice.
that I don't know if I realized it ever was for my birth year, but it's The Crimes of the Black Cat from 1972. And it says a blind pianist tries to figure out who's responsible for a string of murders using a black cat, which is with its claws dipped in curare.
Curare? I don't know what that means. I don't know what
curare? That is. I don't know. And I kind of find it funny, they almost it almost seems like they did a pun in there, kind of like with pianist for a string of murders. But it would have been better if it was the key to success, something like that. I don't know why. It just seems like they were trying to go for something there with that. But
curare, yeah, it's a poisonous plant extract. This what they put on poison arrows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're not even saying it right.
I was looking at the pronunciation. It said curare.
Oh, so we were kind of right.
Curare.
Okay.
No, curare.
Oh, curare. Okay, all right. Oh, we're that far off. it shows that you and I have never shot a poison arrow at anybody.
That's right.
We don't know what the thing is, but yeah, no, there's a really odd trailer there, but it's very Giallo.
Yeah.
I can't. Why am I not
Jello.
pronouncing right?
I just say Jello.
Giallo. Thank you. There we go. Bonus features include. I swear to God, I'm like.
We're just gonna say Jello.
If I'm struggling
Jello
with like
now.
words that I say all the time tonight, this does not bode well for anything complicated. Bonus features include a commentary track with Fragments of Fear, a Giallo podcast with Peter Gilmstad and Rachel Nisbet. So it's, like I keep seeing these other podcast teams getting these. We got to be close, right? We're getting up there, right? We got to be closing in.
We just got to find our niche, Brian. They need a. They need like. I mean, all these ones that get on here, like the Paul Naschy cast or the Giallo podcast. I think we're too broad. Maybe we need to shrink it down.
Maybe we'll have to just really like hyper focus on.
Like, do you need to blend horror with planes, trains, and automobiles?
Yeah,
we're the podcast for you.
Exactly. That's what we need. Maybe they'll do they need to do a horror movie of planes, trains, and automobiles. I mean, I guess they've had those movies where people are trying to travel to get somewhere, and it's like the horrors that beset them. But I bet you, though, if they like really stuck to that formula of like planes, trains, and automobiles almost to a T, but made it really like a horror film, how cool would that be?
I think they did a trailer where they made that into a horror movie. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. I'll have to go look that up. Yeah, I love when they re-edit those trailers.
Yeah, we need to we need to. If not, we're gonna come up with it on our own. But anyway, those two from the Giallo podcast got Peter Gilmstad and Rachel Nisbet. They were on there as a commentary track. It's got English SDH subtitles, image gallery trailer, commentary by Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson. And remember, of course, there are Statler and Waldorf duo when they're together. I still think I want them to get with Bruce Holcheck again so they could be the Stygian witches, but they have not. They kind of seem to left him out. I guess they go back to their Statler and Waldorf roots. I know they're a team. They just don't want that third in there. I guess. But there's also a feature called "Remembering Sergio Pastore." Interview with Sarah Pastore, I assume his wife or sister or something. Sergio Pastore and Una Amariovela. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher this one. Amirevole Indipendente. Yes. Right?
This is why we're not big in Italy.
Yeah. We that is one area where our podcast seems to suffer because I think they just think we're mocking them. It's just literally we're trying to pronounce it properly and failing miserably.
We are terrible. We can't even pronounce English names.
I know. I literally couldn't say dismemberment tonight. That's from the get-go. That is a bad sign.
All right, next up from Shout Factory, we have Dark Spell from 2021. Dark Spell is a story about the girl named Xenia who suffers from being in love with her husband. In love with her husband that has left her. Okay, sorry.
I know. When I read that too, it was such an unfortunate spot where it ran out of space and had to go to the next line. Yeah.
She suffers from being in love with her husband that has left her, so she decides to bring him back. Desperate heroine casts a spell called Black Wedding, which is not to be confused with the Billy Idol song. White Wedding. This is the evil version of that, which is a magical ritual known for its great power and irreversibility. I hate spells that you can't reverse. That sucks. Yeah. After the ritual, her beloved husband comes back, although his love becomes more like an obsession. He is even ready to kill Xenia so as not to give her to anyone. When the maddened husband dies, the spell does not stop, because even death will not part those who are betrothed by the demon of Black Wedding.
I want to say, wasn't there like a Tales from the Crypt or something like that once? Where it's
like
they wished for something, and it was like, and they got it true, but it was like, they were like, I remember, and the catch was like, well, you didn't say it had to be alive or something like that. It was
that's the old monkey paw,
right?
Tale. Yeah, there's so many variations on the monkey's paw. Be careful what you wish for thing, but this one looked okay. I mean, I wasn't blown away by this trailer, honestly.
Yeah. It was just just okay. Like it's something that I wouldn't not watch. Let's put it that way. If I had the means to watch it at some point, like if it was on like Shudder or something, I could see myself watching it.
Yep.
Next one is bubbling up again. Is our friends over at Cauldron Films once again for release number 5 with Beyond Terror from 1980. It says, when an elderly woman and her grandson are burned alive. Oh my God, what is wrong with me today? Okay,
Buried, burned. Who cares?
I'm gonna start back again. Okay, when an elderly woman and her grandson are burned alive after a brutal home invasion, their supernatural vengeance is enacted against the 3 perpetrators plus their 2 hostages whose callous indifference allowed it to happen. So it says, like Tim wrote, it's not sure what the movie's about, but digging that trailer music reminding me of the 70s version of John Carpenter. Yeah, and that's kind of what I said. I just said, like, it's the movie looks really bizarre, like from the clip, but the music they picked is so different from what the visuals you're seeing, kind of, and it makes it really kind of weird. But anyway, so there's it's funny because like Cauldron Films managed to pull out. They actually grabbed one of our film historians there. They got our they have a commentary there by film historian and grandfathered in Kat Ellinger.
Yeah, Kat Ellinger does not get made fun of because she's been grandfathered in.
Yeah,
she's been there from the
grandmothered
start.
in. Should we say grandmothered in? I guess.
I don't think she's old. So I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. You accuse her of being elderly.
True. Yeah, we've already insulted her many times inadvertently.
In various ways, yeah.
But so there's a reverse Blu-ray wrap featuring the original Spanish title and poster art, image gallery with soundtrack, 4K restoration from the original negative. So that's a decent look. Cauldron's coming up with a couple of things there on that disc.
Yeah. And if anyone doesn't know, our all of our film historian parodies are completely out of love because we love our film historian commentaries.
Yeah, and we don't know many of them. There's only a few that we've actually seen in action, I guess, per se, and we're nowhere near by our description. I think it's just because we might have some new listeners, so they're probably like, oh my God, why are these people making fun of these film historians? Yeah, no, for those new listeners to the Dismemberment, it's one of our shticks basically. I don't know how it started. I'm not even sure
either.
When it did. I think we got a name once and we did an imitation and then it stuck. And we just keep it. We just kind of invent these kind of personas for our film historians. It's actually almost like we don't try and find out what they're really like because then it'll
ruin
the bit. But yeah, and thank God that we're actually our friend Cody. She basically transcribes all of our zaniness into a document for us.
We've got a whole book of film historian fictional personas that we can draw from. So.
It is. That should be our coffee table. If Civil War ever releases a coffee table book, I think that has to be one of the ideas.
Oh, yeah. We can put different chapters, have beer pairings, listener questions. We can have a whole book about it.
We need one with our Kickstarters. Cody actually reminded us of one of our old school Kickstarters, The Ghost in the Casket, back from like episode 1 or 2.
The Ghost in the Casket. Water Zombies was in there too, but Ghost in the Casket was one of the originals. That one cracks me up every time.
Yeah, it was just so. Oh my God, our 200th episode's coming up. I don't know if we'll have time to get it all in for here, but we should almost like start trying to dig up those clips of the old episodes just to play.
Oh my God, they're hilarious.
Yeah, maybe we'll have them all by episode 300. But we some of those things back in the old version of Civil War, it's so different. Like because I guess Cody was reviewing some of our older episodes, and she said that like actually our beer pairing used to be in the beginning of the episode. I don't even remember that.
I don't remember that. No.
I always remember it at the end because I guess it's been such a mainstay at the end.
I mean, I do remember we used to go literally almost scene by scene through each movie. Like, I do remember that. But.
Yes, that I remember. Yeah, no, if you want to see, I mean, if anyone ever calls us a stale podcast, we have plenty of proof to show you that we have evolved over the years and we've changed things. I mean, this episode alone is one of our biggest changes. This used to be packed. We used to have this packed in our regular episode. Mm-hmm. So, and then we decided to make it an original thing. So, I mean, we always are trying to innovate and kind of change things. I mean, a couple of things have stuck around forever, obviously, like the beer pairing, but people love that. They always say they like that. The games we've changed, although the latest one, I think that's been everyone's favorite, I think, the Triple Threat.
Yeah.
So I can't see that going anywhere.
But I think the changes we've made have generally been well accepted. I mean, I think we don't change it so drastically that it's like going to turn people off. Because I think one thing I've constantly gotten complimented on is that the people know what to expect from the podcast.
Yeah.
And they like that consistency. We try to put out a show every week. We try not to skip weeks. We try to keep the same basic format and flow, so you guys know what to expect, and I think people really like that. So I try, when we do make changes, I try not to shake it up too much. Maybe add a feature here or move something around. I mean, I guess the last big change we made was changing our release date, but that really helped us put out a better show every week.
Yeah,
so we're not rushed.
and it gave us some more shows because we've managed to get some more bonus episodes in there because of that. So
yeah. All right, so our last release before we get to our pick of the week is from
no,
Arrow.
there's two more actually. There's two more.
Oh, you're right.
You didn't scroll either. See, it's that 7 that one for some does not want to scroll
Excel.
over.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We do have release number 6 here. This is from Finale. This is I don't know if we've seen anything.
I think
Finale
that's new.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is called The Ringmasters from 2018. During the night of the biggest sports final of the year, 2 girls working in a gas station experience strange incidents. Is it just staged pranks, or is it something of a more aggressive intent? And this one looked very interesting. It looked kind of like a more theatrical version of Jigsaw.
It does.
It kind of looks like Saw, but maybe like played out in a real world setting. I don't know.
Yeah, it also kind of reminded me of a little bit of the Coco Day, because of the vaudevillian circus guy, like misplaced kind of thing. So I don't know. It could be a little bit of there's definitely an odd thing in there. He definitely looks like a creepy character. Kind of reminds me of something you'd find in the movie Mirror Mask or something. The way that Ringmaster character is one of the.
I like stuff like I love carnival circus stuff, so I'm a sucker for that.
Oh yeah, no that was right too. Like our appeal, like your censors, This one is cool. The last one before the pick of the week is Arrow releasing Threshold from 2020. It says Threshold follows a sister claiming to be cursed as she persuades her brother to embark on a cross-country road trip to break her spell. Got nothing of that from this trailer, however.
No.
Definitely looks really on the dark side of this, though. There's an implied child death. From the trailer, and it looks just like this weird Yeah, at first I was like, "Oh, this looks like one of these dark dramas where the kid's gonna come back and haunt." But it then this nude woman appears and crawling around. I don't know what. Yeah, it really looks kind of.
It looks
crazy,
good though. I mean, it looks good.
Yeah, it definitely wanna check this one out because of the. It's got, even though it's such a dark tone, it looks kind of interesting. But this one actually, this disc is pretty packed. I mean, it's Arrow, so you're gonna get. A lot of good stuff on there. And so you get the original 5.1 DTS Master Audio, the English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, brand new audio commentary with directors Powell Robinson and Patrick R. Young, producer Lauren Bates, and lead actors Joey Millen and Madison West. It says brand new audio commentary with directors Powell Robinson. Oh, okay, they're just on it again. With directors Powell Robinson and Patrick R. Young and editor William Ford Conway. Crossing the Threshold, a feature-length documentary on the making of Threshold. Elevating iPhone footage, color correction breakdown. Oh, so was this filmed on an iPhone?
Must be, yeah. Interesting.
Oh, okay. It did look like it was the quality was kind of a little weird at spots, so maybe that. But I did hear there was a couple of movies that were filmed completely on iPhones, so.
It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty neat how basically saying you and I could just right now go out and shoot a film essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It says something from nothing. Indie genre director roundtable. Oh, Indie Genre Director Roundtable, moderated by Scott Weinberg, with directors Powell Robinson and Patrick R. Young, Brandon Espy, James Burkett, I guess, Zach Donahue, and Ellie, right? I never know when it's L like that, or is it L or
could
Ellie?
be either.
I've seen both, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll give her L then. L Callahan, or like Elle Woods, from
yeah.
Legally Blonde. It says Power of Indie Horror. This one sounds cool. Power of Indie Horror, acting for unconventional film roundtable discussion moderated by Zena Dixon with the actors Madison West and Joey Milne, Kelsey Griswold, no relation to Clark. Must be a cousin, maybe. I don't know. Gabrielle Walsh. I guess she was in Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, and then Ryan Shoes from The Gallows. So that's kind of cool. They have these two roundtable.
I like those. That sounds
features.
cool.
Yeah, those are always kind of fun to watch. I feel like because usually it's shot where you feel like you're in the table with them. It's kind of a neat thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Sounds of Threshold original soundtrack, Threshold concept outline script, a trailer and original teaser, image gallery reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Coffee and Cigarettes, first pressing only, illustrated collector's booklet featuring new writing on the film by Anton Beitel.
Cool.
So that's a packed disc by Arrow, but they always...
Especially for a recent film, though. Usually you don't get all those extras for like a
although Stylus
movie.
disc is packed. That's like a 2-disc set. The one Stylus
that's true,
from
yeah.
Arrow I got, that was a really good disc. I really want to dive into that one since I love that movie so much.
But I like that trend, that those extras are not just reserved for the old movies, I like that they're doing them for the new ones as well.
Well, remember DVDs when New Line would do that for their discs that would come out? We always have a ton of special features on it. Mm-hmm. When DVDs were first coming out, they would really try and certain companies would really be better than others, but really put a lot of special features on there.
Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite part of collecting Blu-rays is the features. I mean, that's why. Otherwise, I could just buy them digitally and just watch the movie. But I like having the extras. I think it gives you a reason to buy physical media.
Yeah, there's a lot to physical media that you just don't get with the digital copy. It's like the digital copy, you literally are just getting the movie. Sometimes they'll throw in the features, but with the other thing, you get the collectible element, the display element, the special features. The fact that you purchase something that you now have in your hand that they can't suddenly take away when they decide the rights are over.
Yeah, I like that. All right, well, let's get to our pick of the week for July 6th. We went with, both of us went with the same one. We went with MVD Visuals' release of The House on Sorority Row from 1983. After a prank goes horribly wrong, a group of sorority sisters are stalked and murdered one by one. I actually have this on Blu-ray. It's a previous release. I have not watched it yet. I did look at the extras on my version, and they're very close to these extras. So there is a release that's kind of close to this. But I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list to see, especially after Kim and Ket did an episode on it. But the extras here are 2 versions of the film. High-definition presentation of the main feature, alternate version of the film with director-approved pre-credit sequence with mono audio, an audio commentary with director Mark Rosman, audio commentary with director Mark Rosman, and stars Eileen Davidson and Catherine McNeil. Interviews with cast and crew, including director Mark Rosman, stars Harley Jane Kozak, Eileen Davidson and Catherine McNeil, composer Richard Band, and producer Ego Cantor. Original pre-credit sequence, alternate ending storyboards, TV spots, theatrical trailer, reversible artwork, collectible mini poster, and that limited edition retro slipcover for the first pressing only. So you got to get it.
Yeah, I don't know how I don't have this one, actually. I'm surprised I don't have it. I have the remake, the one that was just Sorority Row. I assume that was the remake, or loosely based off of this one, right? Or was it just a total remake of this? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I know I'm almost positive I got this during some kind of big sale. I don't know if it's like a Kino Lorber sale or Vinegar Syndrome sale or some sale. I can't remember who actually did the release of my disc, but I know I got it in a big stack of discs, and that's why I haven't watched it yet. It was just one of those that I picked out that looked interesting, but definitely want to see that one. All right, that brings us to the week of July 13th. This is a very short week, only 3 releases this week, but one of them is quite a doozy. Actually, a couple of these are pretty good. There are some Universal re-releases this week. They're getting back into the Tremors reissues. So we're going to get Tremors 2 Aftershocks, Tremors 3 Back to Perfection, and Tremors 4 The Legend Begins. That one's definitely got to be on our Slaycation one of these days, Brian.
Yeah, you know what? It was almost, I had it kind of pegged for this summer, but then once we decided on Puppet Master's 85 films, I decided to push that. Because Tremors got, 8? And I think another one's coming out. Or something. I didn't realize there's a Tremors roller coaster, actually. Silverwood, maybe, I think is the park. Because it was in that... Entertainment Weekly's been trying to get me back forever. Uh-huh. And so they sent me a random issue, their big summer issue, and, they had a packet of other, things in it. It had I could buy HelloFresh, a 6 free meals or something. It was they're really trying to pull me back in there with the thing. But anyway, one of the first things in it was a history of theme park or attractions basically based off of movies. And so, of course it had a lot of the obvious ones, but it went through most of the old Paramount park ones, like the hurler. Remember, I remember I told you that they had the stats kind of wrong a little bit. But one of them, I guess, there's a Tremor wooden roller coaster at this park where it's like a wooden roller coaster that dives into a bunch of tunnels and stuff. So we should ask one of our many. We have a lot of experts in our arsenal that would be able to tell us immediately.
Yeah. Now, I will say I had a blast going to see Tremors on the big screen. That was the first movie I went to post-pandemic, was Tremors, for one of the retro film screenings they did a couple months back, and it was fun. I had a really good time. I had not seen that movie in so long, but that movie really holds up. That's a really, really good one. All right, so skipping our pick of the week, we're going straight to Shout Factory's The Night from 2020. A couple become trapped inside a hotel with their demons, real and imagined, until they can confront the secrets of their marriage. I really like the trailer for this one. It looks like a couple kind of staying in a haunted hotel type thing. Really, really creepy. Great trailer. I definitely want to see this one.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, and for Shout Factory release, it's really bare bones. But, since it's a newer title, Shout Factory, usually their newer stuff, they don't give the full Shout Factory treatment on. This is just one of their standard releases.
Yeah, Shout Factory kind of does. They either go all out with their big collector's editions, or they just release bare bones. It's kind of interesting, but this one just has the original trailer, nothing more.
Yeah, they just released. It's funny enough. One of the things they released was City Slickers 2, but I think they're going to recall it because they want to add your commentary track on the comparison to. Poltergeist on there. Too, yeah. So the next one is from Music Box Films. I think we've had that before, right?
I don't remember.
I don't know. It could be.
Not very often.
If it did, it was like one or twice. But this one sounds cool. It's called The Monster Collection, 2015-2019. So it's a 3-disc set featuring 2 acclaimed documentary films, both directed by filmmakers is it Gills or Giles? No,
I'm not sure.
Gills. It might be Gills because it's 2 L's.
Yeah.
Gilles Penso and Alexandra Poncet. Phil Tippett. I see. Both directed by, all 3 of them. So Giles Penso and Alexandra Poncet. Phil Tippett, Mad Dreams and Monsters in the Frankenstein Complex, plus over 12 hours of bonus features, including never-before-seen making of footage and more. So it's kind of neat. It's like, I guess it's like just a couple of documentaries, but it's got if you look at the special features on it, it's amazing. So it's got a feature commentary with Phil Tippett. Of course, Star Wars fans know about all his great creature work he's done. Mm-hmm. And directors Alexandra Poncet and Gilles Penso. It says Meeting the Monsters making of documentary. Prehistoric Beast, a short film by Phil Tippett with audio commentary. Mutant Land, 2010, a short film by Phil Tippett with audio commentary. So these are some of the things you probably never get anywhere else. Mm-hmm. Like this is kind of like almost like a disc of like unearthed special features that could fit into other titles somewhere, but they just don't. So it's on this whole thing. Phil Tippett Museum, a virtual gallery of Tippett's creations. That would be cool alone. Mm-hmm. That's worth the disc enough, I think. There's Joy of Working with Phil. Interview with Paul Verhoeven. Phil will fix this. Interview with Joe Johnston. Animating with Phil. Interview with Tom St. Amand. Phil's Vision, an interview with, interview with Bill Murray about filming Groundhog. No, I'm like, not that Phil. It's an interview with Chris Wallace. Wallace, though, not the commentator. Chris
Wallace.
Right. It's Chris Wallace, Walas. Friendship, Robots, and Dinosaurs, interview with Dennis Muren, who actually I got to see speak one time in San Francisco. I think it was in might have been the Palace of Fine Arts. I don't know. We went there and it was really cool. He had like a 2-hour speaking thing, and they had a bunch of Star Wars themed like drinks and food at the cafe. It was kind of neat.
Oh, that's cool. You know what the coolest speaker I ever got to see?
Joe Bob?
Nope. When I was a kid, I got to see Mel Blanc.
Oh, wow.
Who did the voices of if you guys know him, did all the voices of Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
All the Warner Brothers stuff. He actually came to the local college. My granddad took us to see him, and he did all the voices and everything and told the whole story of his life. It was absolutely fascinating.
Oh, wow. That's really
I'll never
cool.
forget that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that I love those kind of things. Like, I love when you can get to one of those, like the Joe Bob, Redneck Save Hollywood, like those kind of like those tours. You know, when they'll come and they'll speak for like 2 hours and have like this multimedia presentation. Like those things are really cool to see. To me, I could watch those all day. I would love that people just release those on DVD. You know, just all the like, because there's some you can't get to. Obviously, they're all over the world. You know, it'd be cool if like start releasing a series of those. But anyway, so then it says from stop motion to computer interview with Craig Hayes. See, there's a lot of stuff on these discs. Memories and Archives with Phil Tippett. Dinosaur Supervisor Jurassic Park with Phil Tippett. Starship Troopers 2 with Phil Tippett and John Davison. It says Dinosaur with Paul Verhoeven and John Davison. And I'm saying Davison because not to be accused of John Davidson. Either the Ranger goalie or the guy from... what was it? No, That's Incredible?
That's incredible.
That's incredible,
yes. Yeah. That's cracking me up because that show's so old. Oh my God.
Yeah. I still remember the episode where someone beat Dragon's Lair on it. I remember that was my favorite episode because
yes, I like this. I like the episode where the ghost in the Toys R Us. It used to scare me so bad.
Oh yeah. Well, there was that. I think that might be the Toys R Us that I used to go to in California, because that was always the one on El Camino was haunted. And,
that's probably it.
Yeah, it was always known as the haunted Toys R Us. And actually, Julie and I passed when we were driving back just recently. We passed when we were in California. We were there for like, remember that little really short trip for my in-laws' 50th anniversary. Just coming back from their event, we passed by. There's the haunted Chuck E. Cheese. So I'm like, well, gee, maybe that's where they got the Willy's Wonderland thing. But yeah, no, there's a lot of haunted stuff there in California. It's like normal places just get haunted out there. It's kind of funny. Oh yeah, and then Mutant Fish, Piranha with Joe Dante, 1978. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things on this. This might be a fun disc to pick up.
Now that's a set for extra buffs like us.
Yeah, I mean, that's all like everything we want.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so our pick of the week, this is a great one. House of Wax from 2005. Shout Factory did a collector's edition of this one. I remember when this came out, the big to-do was that Paris Hilton was in it. Because remember, there was this period of time where Paris Hilton was like all the rage.
Yes.
And that was the big thing about this movie. But I actually like this movie. It's just fun.
Yeah, this one was actually a really good... Like, I mean, I guess you would call it a remake, but even though it was...
Yeah. I mean, it's a remake of a really old film, but...
Right, yeah.
I think it's gotten actually more appreciation over the years. It's sort of like... It has kind of got like... I put it in the same vein as 13 Ghosts and House on Haunted Hill, that like people that kind of get this nostalgia for it, that kind of were kids when this was kind of coming out, and they like really look back more fondly than what it was viewed as when it came out. Because I don't remember this getting like super great reviews when it came out, but I think
everything
really
was about Paris Hilton in it.
Yeah, but I think people really like it now.
Yeah, and I have it on Blu-ray, but I plan on double dipping on this one because I want that Shout Factory magic to it.
Yeah, I definitely want to get this one. This was a true pick of the week for me because I definitely want to get this. House of Wax tells the story of a group of friends who fall prey to a sinister plot while passing through a small town on their way to a college football game. This one has some great special features. A new 2K restoration. New Die My Darling, an interview with actress Paris Hilton. New The Tale of Blake and Page, an interview with actor Robert Richard. New Organ Grinder, an interview with composer John Ottman. New to Me, They Live and Breathe, an interview with makeup effects artist Jason Baird. B-roll and bloopers video cast commentary. From location, Joel Silver reveals the House of Wax. Wax On, the design of House of Wax. The house built on wax, the visual effects of House of Wax. Alternate opening, Jennifer killed. Spoiler alert. Gag reel, vintage interviews with cast and crew from the electronic press kit, vintage featurette, theatrical trailer, and optional English subtitles. I mean, it's not as packed as a lot of Shout Factory Collector's Edition, but for a movie of this caliber, I mean, I think it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, like, how much more can you really get?
Yeah, the only thing I wish is there's a cast commentary of the bloopers and B-roll. I don't think there's an actual audio commentary for the movie. That's the only thing I think is really missing. Oh, yeah,
you're right. Yeah. There isn't. That's odd.
And I just realized we didn't recap July 6th. So sorry about that. But we will recap July 13th. We have The Night from 2020, The Monster Collection, which is that great 3-disc documentary set, and House of Wax Collector's Edition. And since I did skip the recap on July 6th, I'll go back and do that real quick. We had Mortuary from 1983, The Crimes of the Black Cat from 1972, Dark Spell from 2021, Beyond Terror from 1980, The Ringmaster from 2018, Threshold from 2020, and our pick of the week, The House on Sorority Row from 1983. That was for the first week of July. We will get back on track here for the week of July 20th. And this one's a pretty packed week. 11 releases this week. A kind of a great mix for everybody here. And we actually differed on our picks of the week this week, Brian. So this will be a good, fun one to talk about. But first up, we have another Shout Factory release. This is Eight-Legged Freaks from 2002. This is the David Arquette vehicle. A variety of horrible, poisonous spiders get exposed to a noxious chemical that causes them to grow to monumental proportions. The last time I saw this movie was back in Alt 2 when it came out. And, I'm not a spider movie fan because I'm not afraid of spiders. I don't find them scary. Olivia is terrified of spiders. She won't go near one. I just have never had a fear of spiders at all. So horror movies based on spiders are not scary to me. But, I mean, I was okay. It was decent when I watched it. I remember. I haven't watched it since, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching it, and I thought it was okay. I mean, it was kind of reminded me a little bit, like almost like they kind of had that same campiness, like a Maximum Overdrive and a Bats, that kind of a thing.
There was a period of time. Tremors was like a really good example of it. But there was that period of time where they were doing like kind of these kind of tongue-in-cheek monster movies, kind of throwback things that were like more comedy than horror, really. And it kind of, eventually spawned into like stuff like Sharknado and all kinds of crazy stuff on sci-fi. But yeah, this kind of came out of that same era, I think, of, Tremors and Arachnophobia was kind of like that. I mean, you just kind of have this whole genre of like throwback monster movies. But yeah, it's okay. This one does have some pretty good extras though. 2K restoration. New, It's an Invasion. The making of Eight-Legged Freaks, including brand new interviews with writer-director Ellery Elkayam, producers Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin, co-stars Dougie Doug and Rick Overton, composer John Ottman, creature makeup effects artist Bill Johnson, and animal trainer Chris Rankin.
I know.
I didn't know he's an animal trainer. I didn't know he's an animal trainer for Eight-Legged Freaks. He's a spider
but he drops
wrangler.
the H, I guess, in his name for.
Oh yeah, he can't let on a secret. We just exposed him on the podcast.
I know. Whoops. Sorry. Chris Rankin's a very common. Remember, there's also like Chris Rankin in like the Harry Potter.
Yeah.
What was he? Percy Weasley? Yeah, one of the Weasleys.
One of the Weasleys. Yeah. Audio commentary by co-stars David Arquette and Rick Overton, Ellery Elkayam and Dean Devlin. 8 spine-tingling additional scenes of spiders in action. Okay. Ellery Elkayam's award-winning short film Larger Than Life and theatrical trailer. Nice.
Next one is from Lionsgate. The Initiation. It says, Western University unravels the night a star athlete is murdered, kicking off a spree of social media slangs that force students to uncover the truth behind the school's hidden secrets and the horrifying meaning of an exclamation point. I was gonna say it looks okay-ish. You said it looks generic-ish. Yeah, it's kind of like looks like a little mix of Happy Death Day, any of those movies where there's
Urban
like a
Legend,
phone.
maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones that sadly will date itself. But I mean, the thing is, it didn't look bad. It just looked familiar, and okay, we've seen this before. And there was a little element of Scream in there. I think they kept showing that reporter, so it definitely can tell where it got stuff from.
Yeah,
but
I said I would reserve judgment. I would. Right. I'll watch it.
I would not. Not watch it again. Like if it was presented to me. I mean, there are certain movies that like I can already say like, all right, no, you can hand it to me and like pay me like $20 and I probably still won't watch it, kind of thing like that. This is not. These aren't one of them. Those type of movies. This one I would watch. But yeah, it's got a couple of features on it. It's Hidden Secrets, Surviving Initiation, and the Final Twist, post-production. Well, now we know there's a final twist in this movie, but. No, that's pretty much common.
But if the final twist is good enough, it might make the movie pretty good.
Yeah, there was that other movie, which I'm not going to mention yet because we may be setting up we may be getting an interview possibly on that one too. So I don't want to mention it. But there was another movie I was watching where, while I was watching it, I wasn't sure of how I was going to feel about it, and then the ending had a number of twists to it to the point of where it actually, to me, validated the whole movie enough that when I was done with it, I said, you know what, I actually liked it.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, sometimes the ending can change the whole.
I mean, that's why there is an ending. You know, that's why you watch the whole movie.
Yeah,
just for that reason, because sometimes you're off balance for a reason because they want you to be. So
yeah. Next up, from our good friends at RLJ Entertainment, we have Jacob's Wife from 2021. Anne, married to a small-town minister, feels her life has been shrinking over the past 30 years. Encountering the Master brings her a new sense of power and an appetite to live bolder. However, the change comes with a heavy body count. One reason to see this movie, the great Barbara Crampton. I would watch anything that she's in, so yeah, this is definitely a must-see for me.
Yeah, anything with Miss Barbara Crampton is, and she looks really like good in this. She looks like she's like giving like another top flight performance.
She doesn't age. The woman does not.
No,
age.
she does not. I don't understand how she does it.
She's timeless.
She's magical. Like you would think, like if you see back, like I mean, you look at like young Barbara Crampton, and it looks like she's aged maybe like 5 years tops.
Yeah, I want whatever her and Paul Rudd have been drinking because.
Yeah.
They must have found the fountain of youth somewhere.
Yeah, well, and see, now that you mentioned Paul Rudd, we have to meet Barbara Crampton now, because I met Paul Rudd a couple times. So now I need to meet Barbara Crampton, because that's and that's a dream guest of ours, too, I think, too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's we have a lot of people we'd love to have on the show, but I think she's definitely one of those ones that
she's
I
way
feel
up
like
there.
we need to, at least, or get to see her at a con or something. Like, we need to just meet her so we could, like, in person, just give her all her praise in person, I guess, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
She is one of the best. Next one, we got a Shout Factory release. And this one, it's funny. So, I kind of remember watching this title, but I think I also remember seeing the book cover, because this was based on a book. Mm-hmm. And I think I might remember the book cover more than I actually... But I'm still pretty sure I saw this movie, too. Because I think this used to be on cable as well, and that's Shout Factory's release of A Stranger is Watching, 1982. It's a Sean Cunningham one, and it says because and they don't let you forget it too, because I swear to God, I think it's the same voice from the Friday the 13th trailer when he's like Sean Cunningham, the director of Friday the 13th. But yeah, the 11-year-old daughter and girlfriend of a man whose wife has been raped and killed in front of his daughter 3 years earlier are kidnapped by the same killer. Held captive in a bunker below Grand Central Station, the two plot their escape while the police try to track the kidnapper. I just want to know one thing, though. Actually, according to this, the way... And I know this is not a Tim error, this is the way it is, it's kidnapper. But, and I always want to say kidnap it. Kidnap it. From, the great
Starman.
Jeff Bridges and Starman,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
For this. Another... quote that I think I said.
I just watched that recently.
I love that movie.
I loved it. I used to watch that movie all the time.
Oh my God, yeah, I bought that when it was on they had the sale. I bought it on Blu-ray because it's another movie I used to always watch. Jeff Bridges is great, and then of course Karen Allen. And this one, it's so funny. What I want to know though about this movie is, do you think like he shares space like somewhere in Lex Luthor's like Grand Central like lair?
Yeah, they got the apartments right next to
because he's got that big thing. You think I wonder if he's like renting like subletting or something from like when from or maybe he's like in Otisburg. Oh yeah, and R.I.P. Ned Beatty, by the way. I know we haven't really mentioned a bunch of these passings recently, but just because I brought him up, which is very sad, of course, because he was one of the greats.
Well, to turn it back to humor, Brian, did your mom ever say, when the phone rang, did you ever go, Grand Central Station?
No, because...
was it too close to home?
Maybe. I don't know. Or she just usually, I don't know, she's just more like a what? Like more...
Like, that was a big thing with my mom. Like, if the phone rang and she just got off the phone and then the phone rings again, she'd be like, Grand Central Station. That was like the thing in our house.
She's been there, though. She's been to New York, your mom, right?
Yeah,
she
loved
visited the real Grand Central Station.
Yeah, my mom was the type that she basically, and this is until recently. She only went to New York recently. She was like old school, terrified of New York because she thought like the minute you step off the plane, like you're gonna get eaten by rats, you're gonna get mugged, you're gonna die on the subway. Something's
one of those two will happen, but no,
yes, eventually. But I kept telling her, I was like, Mom, she went after we did.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, because remember she was buying your shirt for you.
Yeah, and I was like, I was like, Mom, you're gonna love it. Like, don't be like terrified. Like, it's not what you think. And she had a blast.
Well, I think you gave her our number too, just in case she was.
Yeah. But she loved New York. I want to get back so bad. Yeah.
Well, you're always welcome, Tim.
Yes, I know. We have to get back up there.
Oh, and so actually, this feature has a nice. This has a nice feature here. It's got the new 2K restoration from an interpositive. It says new introduction by director Sean S. Cunningham. It says a captive audience. An interview with director Sean S. Cunningham. New audio commentary with it's a new film historian, Tim.
Oh,
look at this by Peter M. Brack.
Tell me all about Mr. Brack.
Okay, so he actually wrote, he is an author and historian, too. So I found out some of his books he wrote were several books about his history in film. One was Brack to the Future, Brack in the Saddle Again, and Brack to School. And what's interesting is whenever he writes his first, version of the thing, he calls it Brack Draft. So yeah. So he's got a little... Definitely a punny kind of guy, right up our alley. I think
I like it. He's a perfect film historian.
He is for us. He's like he may be the most civil gore historian. Maybe he'll be the civil gorian. We'll get him to see if he'll write a book about it. The most
civil gorian historian.
Yes, there you go. And it's also got the theatrical trailer, the TV spot, and a still gallery, which is nice.
All right, release number 7. We have Severin Films' Born for Hell. From 1976, loosely based on the notorious Richard Speck murders, which I've heard about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a very famous case. This is the grim tale of a disturbed Vietnam vet returning home via Belfast who invades a house shared by 8 nurses and proceeds to terrorize and murder them. I couldn't find a trailer on this one. It does have some great extras. A new 2K restoration of the film from an uncut 35mm print. The Other Side of the Mirror interview with actor Matthew Carriere. Nightmare in Chicago, remembering the Richard Speck crime spree with local filmmakers John McNaughton and Gary Sherman. A New Kind of Crime, the Richard Speck story with Once Upon a Crime podcaster Esther Ludlow.
Oh, so see, that's we got to be in there somewhere. That just seems like a regular crime.
Yeah,
real crime podcast. So
that's a good name for a true crime.
Yeah,
podcast.
Once Upon a Crime. Yeah, that is good.
Bombing Here, Shooting There, video essay by filmmaker Chris O'Neill, artist Joe Coleman on Spec, and Naked Massacre, U.S. video release cut.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't have a trailer for this.
Yeah, I couldn't find a trailer for this. I think I found the entire movie.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Not the trailer. Sometimes you'll see that on YouTube. Because,
whoops, I was looking for the trailer. Actually, you find that. And it doesn't help us in any way. I was looking for the trailer and found the whole movie,
Yeah.
So next one, oh my god, this one. I'll tell you.
Oh my gosh, this movie trailer.
The first one I looked at it, I thought it was the John Ritter vehicle, but and I was like, why did Tim put this on here? But then I reread it. Skinned Deep by Severin Films, and I wonder if it's on their sale. I should probably jump on that now, see if they have it still. It's from 2004, and this thing is like, they say it's like very, they say it in this here, you'll hear in a sec. A family vacation is turned into a nightmare when they are abducted by a family of deranged killers in this Texas Chainsaw style comedy, sci-fi, horror, thriller, romantic drama. So they basically tried to get every genre they could get in there. And as Tim said, yes, this looks absolutely ridiculous in the best way. Warwick Davis is in this as Plates, I think his name is.
Yeah, his name is Plates. Yes.
Plates.
Oh, this looks insane.
Yeah, this is, oh my god, this seems like this is like so ripe for a civil gore commentary. This thing looks so off the wall. It looks like if somehow they took every dinner scene in Texas Chainsaw Massacre and like put it on drugs. It's that zany.
Yeah.
And this disc has got some good stuff. It's got 2K restoration of the film from the original camera negative, deep cuts, a look back on Skin Deep with writer, producer, director Gabe Bartalos, actors Jay Dugray and Carolyn Brand, and weapons machinist Jake Lee. So there's
I don't think we've seen that before.
That's a new one. Maybe we should start that as a running list. He might be the only one though. Audio commentary with cast and crew, archival making of featurette, trailer, CD soundtrack, which is a site exclusive, so you have to order it from Severin Films themselves. which actually are pretty good because they answered me right away because Julie was ordering me for my birthday that Christopher Lee set, and right, so when she went to go order it, it was like the site went down for their prep for the sale. So I'm like, oh. So I emailed them. I'm like, oh God. I said, please say you're going to be able to. You're still selling this when you guys back up. And they wrote back like within a couple of hours. They're like, yes, it will still be available, and it was. So it's been ordered. So mine should be arriving any day. So, but
and they sent me a couple stickers too, which was nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
they
cool
seem like a good
stickers.
company, Severin.
Yeah. So release number 9 from Magnolia Pictures. This one we have a screener for and may have an opportunity for an interview. So we're gonna
try and
definitely want to see this one. This is called Held from 2020. A couple's ailing marriage is put to the test when they are held hostage in an isolated vacation rental by an unseen voice that commands their every move. Again, I don't know much about it. I have watched the trailer. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that screener. So hopefully we'll have more on that shortly.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I'm gonna try and, depending on when we finish tonight, I may watch it tonight. But definitely we'll watch it next day to make sure we're all prepped for it because it looks. The trailer makes it look really cool. Wow, release 10. We got a lot this week. Lionsgate, Spiral from the Book of Saw, of course, 2021 release. Working in the shadow of an esteemed police veteran, brash detective Ezekiel Zeke Banks and his rookie partner take charge of a grisly investigation into murders that are eerily reminiscent of the city's gruesome past. Unwittingly entrapped in a deepening mystery, Zeke finds himself at the center of the killer's morbid game. Of course, that's the Chris Rock Saw, which I did not get to see. I heard some good things, though. I think our buddy Jeff Whitmire said it was good. So definitely looking forward to seeing that. And that'll be a must-buy for me because I do have the entire rest of the series of Saw.
Yeah,
so
same here. And, I heard more. I didn't hear, universally good reviews, but I heard more good than bad. So I think this is going to be one that we're going to like.
Yeah.
All right. Release number 11, before we get to our 2 picks of the week, is The Walking Dead Complete 10th Season, 2019 to 2021. I don't need to tell you about The Walking Dead. There's a synopsis here, but you guys know this. I recently tried to get back into the 9th season, which is where I left off, and I just, it's tough. It's a slog. I think the show's kind of, had its run. It's been I'm trying to get through it just because, if I've made it 8 seasons, I probably should just go ahead and finish it off, but it's been a little bit of a slog for me. This one does have multiple audio commentaries and an in memoriam. I haven't read reviews on how good the 10th season is, so I don't really know, but it is. I think that's the final season, or is it the 11th season is the final season? I don't know. They're coming up on finally ending it, putting it out of its misery, I guess. So, but yeah.
Well, we did have one person from The Walking Dead on our show at one point. It was Addie Miller, of course. Who was literally the first Walking Dead, wasn't she? Technically,
that's right. Yeah, but the show. Don't get me wrong. I kind of bash on it, but the show was absolutely fantastic for many, many seasons, and it's really a game changer for horror on TV. I mean, The Walking Dead opened the doors to have real, genuine horror on television, not just this somewhat pared down PG version of horror. So, I mean, you owe it a lot for that, and I absolutely love the show. I still love the show. I mean, it's not that it's just that it's gotten to the point where it doesn't excite me like it used to, and like I said, it's kind of been a bit of a slog for me because it reaches a point where it just. The zombies end up taking a back seat to all the interpersonal drama, and then it starts becoming. You start seeing characters. This is what I don't like. I don't like seeing characters I love fighting each other, and it just depresses me. And I don't know. And then I'm kind of over zombies anyway. So yeah, all that kind of just combined. But it's still still a great show. All right, so Brian, I'm going to let you take your pick of the week. I'll take my pick of the week, and we'll kind of explain why we picked those.
Yeah. So mine is Vestron's release of The Wraith. Collector's edition from 1986. This one, and I picked it not so much that the movie was spectacular by any means. It was a run-of-the-mill 80s. It was fun. And I watched it. I enjoyed it when I watched it for the horror challenge. It's one of those like Tim wrote, it might be the most 80s thing. It totally is. It's got like a car. It's got a race car. It's got it's got the Sherilyn Fenn nudity. It's got everything that usually was in the 80s. But anyway, so This is, in case you didn't hear about it, see it. It's Jamie, killed by neighborhood thugs, returns as a mystical figure named Jake, the Wraith, to gain revenge. It's audio commentary with writer-director Mike Marvin. Audio commentary with actors Dave Sherrill and Jamie Bozian. Tales from the Desert, interview with writer-director Mike Marvin. Rughead Speaks, an interview with actor Clint Howard. So, I mean, come on. Right there alone puts it like... Well, we know it's on Darcy's list. Right there with the Clint Howard thing. And and after seeing him on Joe Bob, how do you not want to spend more time with Clint Howard?
I love Clint Howard.
Yeah, he's the best. Ride of the Future, interviews with stunt coordinator Buddy Joe Hooker and transportation coordinator Gary Hellerstein. The Ghost Car, interviews with visual effects producer Peter Kieran and effects animator Kevin Kuchever. Isolated score with selections from featuring audio interview with co-composer Peter J. Robinson. Just a co-composer. The other guy couldn't make it. The Wraith filming locations, Then and Now, featurette, alternate title sequence, still gallery, theatrical trailer, and TV spots. And yeah, no, it is really totally 80s. But one of the reasons I'm giving it the nod is because it's one of those collector's editions from Vestrons that usually do a really good job. There's a lot of cool features on it. For a movie that, some may argue, like, really? They're making a big fancy edition of this, but... You know what? It was enjoyable when I watched. It's very, very 80s, and but there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a fan of the 80s stuff, so this is one of these ones where I definitely want to probably add it to my collection, just for conversation piece, I think, because people will be like, "What's that movie, The Wraith?" I said, "Well, let's watch it."
Exactly. Now, this next release, my pick of the week, is one I am actually super excited about. I watched this movie for a horror challenge not too long ago, and absolutely loved it. It was one of those undiscovered gems that you kind of run across that you've never seen before, and then you just absolutely love. This is Blue Underground's release of Dead and Buried. They're coming out with a 4K version, 1981. Something very strange is happening in the quiet coastal village of Potter's Bluff, where tourists and transients are warmly welcomed, then brutally murdered. But even more shocking is when these slain strangers suddenly reappear as normal, friendly citizens around town. Now the local sheriff and an eccentric mortician must uncover the horrific secret of a community where some terrifying traditions are alive and well, and no one is ever really dead and buried. And this one, I will give you 2 reasons to watch this movie. You've got Robert Englund, in a very young Robert Englund, in a pre-Freddy role. And then you've got Jack Albertson, who is none other than Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka.
Yes.
Is in this. So,
although, doesn't he look like a mustachioed Mitch McConnell in this?
He really does. Yeah, he looks a little different. But this is a fantastic movie. I absolutely love this one. This is a brand new 4K 16-bit restoration of the film from an Interpositive approved by director of photography Stephen Posters. I love it when the directors of photography get in on the restorations. Those are just outstanding. Dolby Vision HDR presentation of the film. New Dolby Atmos audio track. We got 4 audio commentaries. We got one with director Gary Sherman, one with co-writer, co-producer Ronald Shusett, and actress Linda Turley. Commentary 3, director of photography Stephen Poster, ASC. New commentary with film historians Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson, which are, of course, they team up and become Statler and Waldorf from The Muppet Show.
Yes, they do.
New behind the scenes of Dead and Buried. New Dead and Buried locations now and then. New Murders, Mystery, and Music, interviews with director Gary Sherman and composer Joe Renzetti. New The Pages of Potter's Bluff, interview with novelization author Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough, Stan Winston's Dead and Buried effects, Robert Englund, an early work of horror, Dan O'Bannon, Crafting Fear, theatrical trailers, new poster and still galleries, Stephen Posters, location stills, bonus collectible booklet with a new essay by Michael Gingold, and bonus Dead and Buried original motion picture soundtrack CD by Joe Renzetti. This would be, actually, out of this whole month, is, well, it's close, because there's one coming up in the next week that's pretty darn close to this one, but this would probably be in my top, at least my top 2, if not my number 1 for the entire month of July. This looks like a fantastic disc. I am very excited for this one. All right, so to recap the week of July 20th, we have Eight-Legged Freaks from 2002, Initiation from 2020, Jacob's Wife, Barbara Crampton, 2021, Strangers Watching from 82, Born for Hell from 1976, Skin Deep from 2004, Held from 2020, Spiral from the Book of Saul, 2021, Walking Dead 10th Season, and Brian's Pick of the Week, The Wraith, Collector's Edition from 1986, and my Pick of the Week, probably my Pick of the Month, Blue Underground's version of Dead and Buried 4K 1981.
Yeah, and I realized we did not pick our pick of the weeks for the next week.
But we know what it is. We already know what it is.
Yes.
I think it goes without saying on this one. All right, so that brings us to our week of July 27th. It's always a huge week because I have Olivia's birthday, my brother's birthday, and one of my best friend's birthdays right in a row in the end of July. That's always a busy week. So we'll kick things off here with one that I've really been looking forward to, and the kids have really been looking forward to, Paramount Pictures' release of A Quiet Place Part 2.
Yes.
Following the events at home, the Abbott family now face the terrors of the outside world. Forced to venture into the unknown, they realize that the creatures that hunt by sound are not the only threats that lurk beyond the sand path. Yeah, the kids watched A Quiet Place not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, and really, really loved it. It's actually a pretty decent starter horror film. You know, it's not got a lot of gore, really. It's got some scary stuff, but it's not, there's nothing sexual. There's no nudity. There's no really language. It's a pretty good starter horror film, I think.
Yeah. And teach the kids to be quiet during it, too.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Teach them the quiet game. No extras on this one, unfortunately, but that's not really that out of the ordinary for such a recent mainstream release.
Right. Next one, another Shout Factory release. This was total Tim one. I'm just surprised there's not as many features on it, but that's Chamber of Horrors from 1966. Says, A Chamber of Horrors. A special in-film device is called the Fear Flasher and the Horror Horn. Cue viewers to the terror. The Horror Horn. That just cracks me up. Cue viewers to the terror in this fright fest. A condemned man chops off his manacled?
Yeah, manacled.
Manacled hand.
Yeah.
Fear Flasher. Horror Horn. To escape. I guess that's when you're supposed to play it. To escape, outfits his stump with tools designed to chop, rip, and skewer, and goes on a death spree.
So this is Evil Dead.
It's basically Evil Dead before Evil Dead. Sam Raimi, I thought you were original. Now we see where you got it from. No, only kidding. It's an homage. This one looks really cool. Very Hitchcockian type of trailer. It's kind of like where a lot of trailers used to do that, where they would talk about your experience you were going to have while seeing the film, rather than the much of the film itself. I mean, kind of cool. They go back to those kind of trailers,
Yeah, that was interesting. Although they would we think trailers now are spoilery. That's when the director just tell you everything about the movie.
He's like, here's the scene number 1.
Yeah,
you are going to walk into a movie theater, and 3 people are going to get sliced in half. But don't tell anyone the ending,
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
But yeah, so anyway, that's it's got a couple of things on it. It's got Master Struck from an Interpositive. It's got the audio commentary by Statler and Waldorf. Oh, no, sorry, this is not the Statler and Waldorf one. This is Dr. Now he's a doctor.
Doctor. He's moved
Haberman.
up in the world.
So he moved up. He took his Haberman does whatever Haber can. He used that, and now he's scientific studies. But the funny thing is, while that does sound ridiculous, the way he enters the room, he always offers incredible input as if he's got heightened senses, and he counteracts, though, with Constantine Nazer. They don't get along. So I guess during that time, his insight has led him into a doctorate, because now he is a doctor, Steve Haberman.
Yeah.
So Cody, make that change. Make sure he put
make sure he gets his degree.
Yes, we do not want to remove him from. I mean, that's the real thing he's done in life. We're giving him all this fake stuff. At least we need to give the man his hard-earned doctorate, and obviously not Spider-Man references. But it also has a theatrical trailer, TV spots, and radio spots. So not much on this disc, but might not have just had much, I mean,
it looks cool.
Movie.
It looks very kind of wacky in that mid-60s way. Next up, we have Brotherhood of the Wolf from 2001. When a mysterious beast ravages the countryside, 2 unlikely heroes are called in to fight the evil, and now their battle against dark, unspeakable terror is even more gripping, with a daring extended version of the film that showcases more of the breathtaking martial arts action and over 4 hours of in-depth bonus features. The incredible hit that took audiences and critics alike on a, quote, wild ride is back with more chilling adventure that's sure to have pulses racing all over again. This is based on an actual true story about a large wolf that was killing people back in the I'm not sure exactly the time period, but way back. Anyway, I don't remember the exact time period, but this one I remember seeing. I feel like it's one, Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, this is one that you really liked. I remember seeing this one way back, and I really liked it. I don't remember much about it. I need to watch. This is definitely due for a rewatch. This has a 2-disc set. Disc 1 is an unrated director's cut of the film, and Disc 2 is The Guts of the Beast, a look at the creation of the film from the fight scenes to the digital effects. The Making of Brotherhood of the Wolf, a look behind the scenes. The Legend, a look at the historical facts behind the legend of the Gavaldan Beast. That's the I listened to like a really in-depth podcast about this recently, which is very fascinating. Deleted scenes with introduction by director Christoph Gans and theatrical trailers. If you haven't looked up the legend of the Gavaldan Beast, it's really cool. I mean, I mean, this actually happened. There's enough historical evidence that this actually happened, but nobody really knows. Like, was this like just a kind of crazy large wolf, or was it like a wolf man or a werewolf, or what was it? It's really, really interesting story. I will say, I did forget to mention, we have a couple Paramount reissues this month with Mimic from 1997 and Venom from 2005. And last week when I mentioned Spiral, the Lionsgate's re-releasing all the Saw movies, so it's your chance to catch up on those again. I've actually got this set that has like all 8 except for Jigsaw. Yeah, so that a couple reissues there, and that brings us to our pick of the week, Brian. I'm just assuming this is also your pick of the week.
Yes,
it's
of course,
definitely mine. Yeah, I'll let you.
It's for various reasons.
Yeah, this is just an amazing disc.
I mean, the movie itself is worthy of it, and we're talking, of course, about Shout Factory's release of The Dead Zone, 1983. For those who don't know, it's a chilling story of a man who emerges from a 5-year coma, possessed with the extraordinary power to see visions of the past, present, and most frighteningly, the future. I mean, if you didn't even know the movie was so good, it's got Walken and Skerritt. I mean, come on. Come on, is that not an instant classic? I mean, just for Walken and Skerritt, you know? You know, it's like we can always do that, like Walking on Sunshine song. We need to get Jeff Whitmire to write this, you know, like Walking and Skerritt. You know, yeah. And like his mustache is in full effect, of course. So you know,
of course,
the true Skerritt. Full. That's when you get a full Skerritt, you know.
Yes.
When you get the mustache and everything.
He's going full Skerritt in this movie.
Oh yeah, no, he's full. He's 100% Skerritt in every way. Anyway, maybe that's what we need. We need to do the Skerritt podcast, because in every movie featuring him, we'd be the guest commentary on it.
There you go. Yeah, we just need our niche. We found it.
And that's it. Skerritt. I was thinking of remembering Ted, the movie where he's like he keeps bragging about Tom Skerritt, and he like his boss, and he brings him in at the end. He's like, Tom Skerritt. Yeah. But that should not be us, though. We should not be kidnapping Tom Skerritt. Okay. Anyway, this disc is packed. This is a Shout Factory release, because this is brand new 4K restoration of the film from the original camera negative. New Sarah's Story, an interview with actress Brooke Adams. New Cold Visions, producing The Dead Zone, featuring interviews with production manager John M. Eckert and associate producer Jeffrey Chernoff. New audio commentary with director of photography Mark Irwin. Then it's got new audio commentary with film historian Michael Gingold. Oh. I don't think we've had him before. He mentioned before in something, but I don't think he was ever a film historian. So all I can find about him, though, is that he once hosted an old film series entitled Gingolden Oldies. And he likes to say his name all British, even though he's not. Like, you know, when he introduced himself, he's like, "Hi, I'm Michael Gingold." But the rest of the time he's back to normal again. But yeah,
I actually have seen this guy on disc before.
Oh really?
So yeah.
So I'm no.
But he's not British. No, he's not British. So you're right.
Oh, so okay. So I got part of it. All right, good.
So for all I know, you're completely 100% accurate.
Yes, I mean and for all our listeners know, that's the same. Then it's also got a new audio commentary with film historian author Dr. Steve Haberman. And filmmaker, historian Konstantin Nazer. So that's going to be some battles back and forth there, because you know, of course, Konstantin Nazer, you know, his brain was transplanted into Johnny Five from Short Circuit. You know, hey Nazer lips, as we like to say.
Are we the only ones that find these funny?
Probably.
But okay.
Cody might, because she transcribes them, so maybe she gets a chuckle as she vampires, or she could just be completely fed up with it by that point. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then, if that wasn't enough, it's a new audio commentary with film music historian Daniel Schweiger with isolated score selections. And now, I know, Tim, when you probably put that down, you're like, oh, I can't wait for this one. But I actually know Daniel Schweiger, not personally, but he's an actor as well. He was in one of my favorite movies, Free Enterprise, which I don't know if you ever saw that. It's kind of a movie based off of a real friendship between Robert Meyer Burnett and Mark Altman. They used to do, I think that was Cinescape was the magazine they used to do. But anyway, and they're big Star Trek fans in it, and they basically, their whole thing is they're these two guys living in L.A., and it's kind of like, almost like The Big Bang Theory before The Big Bang Theory. It was on Prime. I don't know if it's still on there now, but if you ever get to watch it, you got to watch this thing, because it's like so. And what's cool is I have a version on DVD where it actually has like a pop-up video thing, so every single pop culture reference on it pops up and explains what it is, because there's some deep pop culture references in there. And it's got oh my god, I forgot his name. What's the one from Will and Grace, the main guy from it?
Oh my gosh! You had to tell me. You had to like.
But anyway, he's
on the spot.
Yeah, sorry, but it's him and Rafer Weigel. They're the stars. They play the two kids, and it's basically they meet up with William Shatner, and he's like their hero, and he turns out to be like William Shatner, but playing as like a total like goofball. Like his whole thing is he's obsessed with making a musical version of Julius Caesar. But it's also, it's like a romantic comedy mixed in there, but it's really good. But anyway, Daniel Schweiger is in that movie, and he plays himself, because he at some level, but he's like an editor in this. But it's such a fun. I must have watched this movie seriously like probably like 1,000 times. Something about it, I just love it. It's one of my like comfort go-to movies. I just love all the pop culture references, like especially there is literally one scene in this movie. And I know I'm going a little off topic here with this, but there's one scene in this movie that is so thing where they're literally the group of 4 friends are sitting there. They're in the car and they're driving. They say, and he's like, "Course setting, Captain." And he goes, "Are we doing lunch or Toys R Us before lunch or after lunch and stuff?" And they literally go to the action figure aisle of Toys R Us and start looking for action figures. Yeah, and then they talk about how they got laser discs, which laser discs they got. So it's just like. It's such a cool thing, and there's a scene where they go into a comic book store. It's very Big Bang Theory before Big Bang Theory. So if Tim, you will love this movie. You don't even have to be a fan of Star Trek, and you'll love this movie.
Yeah, I need to check that one out. That looks good.
Yeah, so definitely check. Yeah, hopefully it might still be on Amazon. If not, I think I have a couple of versions. I think I might have it on Blu-ray now, but I also have a couple of versions of DVDs, so I can probably send you an old copy of it anyway.
It's Eric McCormick.
Eric McCormick, yes, that's it. Yeah, he's great in it. And it's just so funny because like it's like it's so us in it, it's like us, our kind of like fandom is in there. So yeah, definitely.
It looks like it's streaming on a Roku right now.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely watch it, Tim. You'll I want to hear what you think about it.
Okay.
'Cause I think you'll love it. So anyway, and Daniel Schweiger was actually in that. Like I said, he plays an editor in there, and then it's there's also Trailers from Hell, Mick Garris on the Dead Zone, Memories from the Dead Zone, The Look of the Dead Zone, Visions of the Dead Zone, The Politics of the Dead Zone, Theatrical Trailer, TV Spots, Behind the Scenes Still Gallery. So that is a Shout Factory disc of epic proportions, and I think if the first 50 to order, you get 1 strand of hair from Tom Skerritt's mustache.
Well, I mean, that's a great way to round up the month. That is the July 27th releases. Again, Quiet Place Part 2, Chamber of Horrors from 1966, Brotherhood of the Wolf from 2001, and The Dead Zone, our pick of the week from Shout Factory 1983. So yeah, I think we had a couple really good picks of the week in The Dead Zone and Dead and Buried. And a lot of interesting discs, kind of a good across the board mix. Nothing too bad, nothing too super great, but some really good stuff in there. And we will see you guys back here next month for our August releases. So shaping up to be a pretty good summer, I think.
Yes, filled with Skerritt.
Yes, filled with Skerritt. All right, guys, go watch you some Skerritt, and we'll see you back here next month.
See ya.